Welcome to episode 132 of the Horror Dads podcast. You're joined by your horror dads, John and Jamie. We've got a very special interview episode for you today, but we're going to talk to our friends, Josh and Sara Deck. Sara is an immensely talented artist from Canada. We see her every year where, Jamie?
At Horror Hound in Cincinnati.
Yeah, and so
it's a great time.
And we're going to talk about Stephen King stuff.
Yeah.
Which is going to be a blast.
So they both love Stephen King. He's an avid Stephen King reader. So we get to talk and shoot the shit about some of our favorite Stephen King-ness.
But before we do that, we're going to do our regular introductory stuff. We're actually going to start off with some horror news. So, Jamie, you got anything exciting you want to share horror news-wise?
So the one interesting thing I came across was, and I'm sure others have seen this as well, this man named Dan Rivera had a paranormal...
Yeah, I was reading about this.
Like research type group. Well, they got their hands on the Annabelle doll. I don't know how. I don't know if they bought it, if they auctioned it. I don't know what happened there. Touring the country with the Annabelle doll. The fucking Annabelle doll from the Conjuring films. Mysteriously just passes away in his hotel while they're on tour. And I'm not trying to make this an entertainment piece. It's just unbelievable. Right? Like this guy mysteriously fucking dies from Annabelle? Holy shit, dude.
Spooky stuff. I have better, more fun news.
Please.
That's not depressing.
Please.
So we see that the X-Files reboot, which has been speculated up to this point, seems to have a green light with Ryan Coogler at the helm. So he's just coming off the heels of the success of Sinners. Absolutely crushed that.
Dude.
So...
He did crush that.
The article I read about this was I think the quote was something to the effect of, if they allow us to do this right, this will be scary as hell. So I think the intent is really to make it scary. And
well, that's exciting.
Yeah. And Gillian Anderson's made comments too about how she wants to be involved. So like, we'll see what happens.
Come on.
I'm ready, man. I'm ready for
Bring it.
So what have you been watching, dude?
Actually, what are we drinking is what we should ask.
Yeah. What are we drinking? We're drinking
whiskey.
Basil Hayden whiskey.
Yeah.
We had a listener actually, so we'll allow this to be the sponsorship for the day. A listener.
What do we got?
Granite Buffalo. He's got that Black Flag-esque logo. He sent us a little care package here on the back.
What's that say? Never let a poor decision go to waste. Hell yeah.
Yeah. So
POUR.
And he makes these glasses out of, so this was basically a wet saw created this. This is a bottle. It used to be a bottle. And
of what, Jameson probably, right?
Yeah. It has the Jameson on the label and cut in half. He does these videos where the wet saw is going through and then he burns these sweet coasters too. So he sent us a care package. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you, man.
Here, Jamie, cheers.
Yeah, cheers. We're going to, yep.
Too old to do shots, so just a little sip. So this will constitute sort of what we've been buying because this was a nice little gift here that we received. Yeah. So again, thank you for that,
dude. Honestly, amazing. Thank you, Granite Buffalo. Check them out.
But what about watching? Have you seen anything?
Yeah,
recently?
I checked out this new movie on HBO Max called Opus.
What do we got going here?
Have you heard of it?
I have.
Okay. Did you watch it?
I did not watch it.
All right. So it's a movie. Pretty simple premise. Reporter gets put on like a exclusive team to go see this like resurging pop star perform his new album live or whatever, right? For like a select few. Well, they get there. Yeah. Turns out this is like a goddamn full-blown cult. So then, you know, from there, it's kind of, I could kind of relate it to the movie Blink Twice with Channing Tatum, if you've seen that.
Channing Tatum.
If you haven't seen that, you should check that one out.
Is this Blink Twice Before You Dance or something like that?
I think that Blink Twice was a better movie than this.
Okay.
But this movie's acted really fucking well, directed well. Like everything about this movie's great. It just, the story kind of missed somewhere for me.
Yeah.
And it could be that I had Blink Twice in my head. I'm not sure. Blink Twice wasn't a perfect movie, but I would say a more entertaining, engaging, thoughtful movie than this was.
Yeah.
This is kind of a, you know what happens kind of quickly, whereas Blink Twice is kind of twisty.
Sure.
But still, highly recommend Opus. When I say highly recommend, I mean, if you're listening to this, you've probably seen most shit. So why not
Check it out.
see the new one? Yeah.
Yeah, I'll look into that for
and
sure.
then I'm finishing up the new season of School Spirits. When I say the new season, like the second season.
Oh, School Spirits. I actually started that show, oddly enough. We haven't talked about this a couple weeks ago. Just a few episodes in.
Sure.
Not totally captivated yet, but I could tell the bones
I did the
there.
exact thing.
Yeah.
And I actually, by the time I finished the first season, my wife can attest to this. I was like, I want this done. I just want it over. And then it wraps up in a way where you're like,
well, now I
just
need
wanted it done.
Yeah.
So here I am now
cool
trying to
premise.
finish up the yeah. And I mean, it's a well-made show, great music. The second season, I don't remember what the first season did. I think it had great music as well, but this second season takes it to a different level. It's just great fucking songs and music throughout. Really emotional, more emotional than you would think. It seems like a young adult show.
Yeah, it kind of
but
plays
it's not
like
really young adult. You know what I mean?
The Scream,
the
TV
show,
kind
right?
of
But
thing.
it seems a little bit deeper than that.
Yeah. No, I hear you on that.
How about you, bud?
I checked out the new, I think Christopher Landon directed it, the film Drop.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this was something I was really looking forward to. I saw a trailer for it, and then immediately, as soon as it came out and was available for rent, I actually rented it like that night, the moment I saw it, and I watched through. And yeah, it's definitely not a horror film, more of a thriller.
Yeah, suspense. Yeah,
suspense thriller. It felt a little bit like like the movie Red Eye that was.
That's
Craven
a good
did.
Example. Yeah,
It's like that in a restaurant.
It's a great
almost,
comparison. Yeah,
actually,
it reminded me a lot of the beginning of the most recent Final Destination.
yeah. Honestly, yeah, dude,
It's
up there in the the view and stuff.
Right.
But of course, it's beautifully shot. It's really well edited. The suspense really is there. It's just it's a good movie.
I love the way
fun.
he directs and like the shots that he gets. Like that.
Dude.
There was one in particular where she's coming to sit down at the bar, and the way that he comes from behind the bar to where she's sitting, just masterfully done, in my opinion.
Felt like a Hitchcock film, honestly, because of the level of unknown that's present and whatnot. Yeah,
and they
really
fill
enjoyable.
you. They fill you to like your gullet with fucking red herrings.
They really do. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. So I checked that out. I would recommend that others do as well.
Yeah, it's good. I found it stressful, but by the end, I was like, yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was stressful.
But you're not comfortable that entire movie.
No, that's the intent too.
From even just like their interactions and, the whole thing is just fucking uncomfortable.
And you're trying to figure something out. You're like, well,
something's up here.
Like, what's going on here? All right. What are you wearing, man?
Oh, dude. The classic,
It's a
the
classic
howling
OG.
from Cavity Colors. Like
Yeah.
that scene where like this shirt to me is just like, this was a day one purchase.
Yeah. For those that aren't watching the video, it's the transformation scene from The Howling, as if it's being looked at through a window with those like old metallic blinds from growing up,
Yeah, the perspective to me is just brilliant.
Yeah,
it's
it's great.
I don't do this much anymore just because I think you can only go through a phase of so many years where you buy t-shirts religiously and like when they drop. But this was one of those back when we still would like Thursday at noon, the new Cavity Colors release.
Yeah.
And that's what I did here. So we would text each other like, which one did you get? Yeah.
Well, I've got my KQIS Channel 6 body count clothing t-shirt on. So many may recall this logo from Scream. This is the news station Kenny and Gail worked for in the first film. And our buddy over at Body Count Clothing made these. It legit, like, this is a shirt a cameraman would wear at a local TV station.
Like when you wear that,
people
99.9% of people are just going to think,
heading to Friday Night Football
he won
game.
that at a contest.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Local news station.
Anything family antic wise that you want to mention?
Yeah, we're going to go see I Know What You Did Last Summer tomorrow as a family.
All four of you going?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I think that like at this point, my kids can handle it. And
yeah.
I mean, I haven't seen it, so maybe I'm wrong. Maybe
we shall see.
The only thing that concerns me is sexual subject matter.
Especially when you're in the theater, it's like, well, I can't turn this down.
What do you do?
Yeah.
Let's go get some more popcorn. Let's turn into fat asses.
I think it'll probably be okay, man.
I have high cholesterol, but it's fine.
And you will tomorrow night.
I don't want my kids to see dry humping at the beach.
I have high cholesterol. It's fine. So family stuff on my end. When I was in Boston a couple of weeks ago. I talk a little bit about that on this episode here. But when I was there, I was in the airport on the way home, and in my mind, I was like, "Oh no, I hadn't traveled for a bit, and I always get my kids something. Sometimes I just bring the room key home, and sometimes I get something."
Yeah.
So this trip, I'm walking to the
Trinket.
airport, and they had a Jaws 50th anniversary coloring book, like in this window.
Yeah.
But I brought it home, and the kids were so excited. We're coloring, and Luna goes, "What color should I make her bathing suit?" It's like the intro scene, the sharks below her, and I was like, "I don't know, whatever color it is in the movie." She's like, "I don't have a skin colored crayon," and I was like, "What?" She's like, "She's naked." And I was like, "Oh my god!" In the movie, she is, because that's when they're running in.
Yeah.
So she was right on that.
Peach.
And, yeah,
Use peach for
dude,
that.
we were.
That's funny.
Brittany was laughing too. We just had a good time with that. So a couple quick plugs before we jump into our interview, because we want to deny you no further here. But the podcast has taken on the video format. So for those that are experiencing this, thank you for being patient with us as we get situated on perfecting this craft.
We're working on it.
After we got audio totally figured out, now we got this going. So appreciate y'all hanging with us. We do have a Patreon. If you want additional content, additional video content, come on over to Patreon, patreon.com/horrordads. We do 2-3 extra episodes a month. So a lot of great bonus stuff in there. We have a website, horrordads.com. You can jump on there and buy some merch for yourself if you'd like. And if you would do us a solid, follow us on the social channels at Horror Dads. We're pretty much everywhere by this point. Now on TikTok too. Jamie's over there making videos. And you can find us at Horror Dads in any of those platforms. If you wouldn't mind leaving us a 5-star review, goes a very long way, helps us out, makes us feel good. And we appreciate that consideration. But with that, Jamie,
let's go.
Let's do this. We're coming for the decks. Welcome to episode 132 of the Horror Dads podcast. We're joined by our friends Sara Deck and Josh Deck, hailing from Canada. Sara is a wonderful, talented artist. Josh is also a wonderful, talented artist. But welcome to the show, both. Appreciate you guys joining us.
Hey, guys.
Good to see you.
We always encounter each other slightly drunk at Horror Hound, I feel like.
Yes. Yes.
So I feel like most of our talkings have typically been like late at night, like karaoke.
Yeah, truly. And Sara, every year we were always like, "Yeah, we'll do a collaboration." And this year you're like, "Please just send me a date and probably quit breathing on me with your Guinness breath at this point. And if you will get away from me and stop asking, I'll do it." So, but in all honesty,
Guinness.
I
wish I was drinking Guinness at Horror Hound. I'm drinking like Miller High Lights the whole time.
Josh, Sara, we're gonna do a little bit of a interview. And we're actually going to focus a good portion of this discussion, though, around Stephen King, because, Sara, I know you said you've got a good bit of Stephen King work that's going on now. So let's dive in. Sara, give us your story. Like, what's been your journey to get to where you are now? Talk about like what you do now and sort of what brought you to what you do now, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I'm an illustrator. That's what I went to post-secondary was for illustration, and I started as a traditional artist, and then as time went on, I met some of the people that you're talking about there, like Gary and Justin Erickson, and I think I might have met Matt at that time too, but he was just an up and coming, like he still hadn't done anything with Mondo or anything yet, but and those guys were all working digitally because it was really easy to translate that into publications, because one of the big things like with traditional art was getting it reproduced. Anyways, long story but shorter, they inspired me into doing more pop art, like specifically in the horror genre, because that's what interests me the most.
When did you start doodling or drawing horror characters or horror scenes?
It's something I've always been super interested in. And I think that I grew up in a really small town. And I think if I had have done it's funny because this just came up today. If I had have done some of the artwork that I do now, back then when I was first becoming an artist, I think I would have been really judged hard.
Oh yeah, sacrificed.
Yeah, I just think as a consumer, like that's part of why I feel Jamie and I are so attracted to this genre is because like that's the reason we have 9 copies of the same movie in 20, in all these different formats.
Yeah, that's why we and everyone else, every horror fan loves physical media because of the artwork and the stuff that you guys do.
But so Sarah, what are some of the projects that you work on beyond the traditional sort of like poster illustration and some of the stuff that people might see like at a horror convention?
Well, okay, so I do all kinds of stuff. Like it's not just horror related. I do book covers. Yeah, I do a lot of like steel books, Blu-rays, soundtracks, a lot of soundtracks. My favorite probably to work with is, well, I love working with Rob Jones and Eric and Midge from the old Mondo crew.
Yeah.
They're amazing. And I love working on Jack White projects. Like
Wow.
that's so much fun.
Is it the property and the like runway that you're given on those projects that make you like it, or is it the type of assets that you're asked to create? Like what makes you feel strongly toward contributing to a project?
Well, I mean, each thing is kind of specific, but I guess at this point, the one thing that they have in common is just the history that I've built with them, like the working history. I find like, especially with like, Mitch and Eric and Rob. And I mean, Rob is the one I started working with on the Jack White stuff. So I guess I can say Rob again. It's the working relationship. Like I find with those guys, it's really exciting because they kind of push me. They tend to, get me to do things that are outside of, say the horror genre or like outside of my comfort zone. But then every now, like, I don't know, they're just like, it's exciting to work with them because of the way that they art direct. Like they're excellent art directors. And as an illustrator, that is the number one thing I think. You could be given any property, you could be given any topic, and if you have a killer art director, you can get there. And that's the whole process is as painless as it could possibly be. It's not painless, but yeah. So I think with those, that's why. And I've started doing a lot of my own stuff too, like limited edition small prints that I have at shows, just so that I can do explore certain properties that are not available.
Yeah.
So that's, I mean, you see it all the time. It's just like, it's like artist alley kind of stuff. I know that people want everything to be like
your mini portraits.
Yeah. So, but anyways, like
We
that's
got some back
tons
here
of fun.
actually, and I did not hang these here
Yeah.
for this recording. Those are always there actually.
That's awesome.
Yeah, because I mean, when am I going to be allowed to do that? So I just do them limited edition. But I think probably my favorite things to work on are anything to do with like Robert Eggers stuff.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love the genre. I see it called a genre online and I love it. Anything called Good for Her. You heard of
Mood.
this?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, it's like there's a ton of horror movies that are like considered good for her. So one of the banner ones would be Carrie, but like, Midsummer, like stuff
yeah.
like that. Like where in the end the girl just like goes off.
Oh, yeah, good for her. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Carrie and Midsummer are those are
Yeah, it's
two
a good
really
one.
good examples of good for her. Yeah, like
Yep.
fuck all these
Over and
people.
above like
Yeah.
the final girl thing.
Yeah, and there's a couple of Friday the 13th that would fit in that for sure.
Oh, part 2.
Yeah, like Tina.
Yeah, 2 and 3.
Yep.
Yeah.
I got to do.
7.
I got to do Friday.
Oh,
the
7,
it's
yeah.
somewhere back there.
Part 7, yeah.
And I got to draw Tina, so that was great. She just passed away, didn't she?
Oh my God, I
The
wasn't
actress.
I
aware.
think you're right. Yeah, I think you're right.
Mm.
Man, I started this conversation before we rolled with some depressing questions. So
Now here we are again. You keep kicking us,
now we're
catapulting us
I
into
just made us
depression.
all sad. Sorry.
Do you have any IPs or something that you like want to work on that you haven't gotten to yet? Like, do you want someone to be like, "Hey, Sarah, we need this Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3"?
I really want to work with Guillermo del Toro on
Oof, that would be amazing.
I would love to work on the like something for the new Frankenstein one coming up for Netflix.
So now when you work for, let's say, Mondo, if you're doing a job for Mondo and you do like 3-4 different jobs for Mondo, Maddie does one, Gary does one, are you guys all using the same art director? Does Mondo just have one art director, or is it per project?
Yeah, and this is like like the original 3. So yeah, like it would pretty much be the same. It just depended on what it was for. If it was posters, like if we're doing posters, we're all the same art directors are doing posters. But yeah.
Okay, so they had an art director for posters, one for LPs, maybe one for. Okay, gotcha.
All kinds. They had one for like even glassware.
Okay, yeah.
That they used to have at
Tiki
the Alamo.
mugs and
They had
shit,
another one for pins. Totally different one for tiki mugs and stuff like that. Because I did a tiki mug.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. That art director is always a term that I've heard. Just like producer, like no one. I think the majority of casual movie watchers aren't really sure what a producer does, and that's how I felt about art director. It's like I see the term. I know that there's an artist that did this. What the hell did this art director do? So thank you for clearing that up. Yeah.
It's interesting to see too, like even with producers, because we've asked the question 25 different times on this podcast talking to producers and whatnot. And even a producer's definition of what it is that they do varies from person to person, much like an art director, I guess, which is what makes some of them good and some of them bad at what they do, I suppose.
The best art directors are able to solve problems. Like, I'm just thinking of it now. I'm thinking of like all the ones I've been working with, and it's like clients will say things like they will dislike something or whatever, or they will say, I also need to add this to the artwork. And you're like the marathon that you have run to get to the finish line before the moment that the client says, I don't like that aspect, or I need to add something. You have run the marathon and you are out of breath and you were fucking done with the race. The art director is there to like pick you up, hand you some water and be like, we can do this. I know. Why don't we try moving this? Or why, instead of that, do this? See, that's the best art directors are like that.
Yeah.
Or they're like your champions. They can go out and they can just plead your case.
Josh, you work now as an engineer, right? However,
he's an industrial electrician.
Like I said, engineer. I'm just the smartest person.
You said
ever.
the word engineer.
Just call me.
Sure.
26 times, and each time I think I've noticed each of them wince. Like, this fucking idiot keeps.
I always
saying
hear
it.
no response. They just like blink at you.
All right, so you're
my official term is electrical magician. Let's just go with that.
There we go.
Biological engineering. Perfect. All right, so you're an industrial engineer, but so you work in a, I don't want to say non-creative field because I'm sure there's lots of scenarios in which within your environment you have to be creative. But talking to you at Horror Hound the past couple of years, I've seen some drawings that you've done. So you're also an artist. So I guess for you, as a person that can do both, that has right brain clearly and left brain, electrician or engineer, whatever it is, right? You've got that centered kind of brain. So what for you, like what encouraged you to pursue a career more on like in the trades rather than in the arts?
Well, actually, I would say that Sarah helped encourage me to think about the electrical side of things when I was trying to figure out what to do. We met at in college, both studying illustration. So,
wow.
A long time ago, we were both trying to, find a path, to make a living at it and live the dream. And as you go along, it starts to become obvious. Like I was starting to feel like, I don't quite have whatever it takes to like really pursue it and get something going professionally. So I was looking to, try to figure out what else I could be possibly good at. And like Sarah's aware that I've always had a weirdly good knack for math. And she just suggested one day, like, why don't you look into like a trade, like electrical trade needs math or whatever. So you could like just look into it and think about it. And so I did, and it just turned out to be the right fit.
Sarah, walk us through your process a little bit. So let's say tomorrow you get a call and someone says, hey, we want you to make the poster art for a brand new horror movie called Piano Fingers. And here's your brief, right?
Oh my God.
This is
you could do a lot
all
with
I
that.
need.
you have 90 minutes to come back with a piece of art to share. No, but like, so once you get a brief, once you kick things off, what is your process? Do you have like a regimen, or does it just sort of vary from project to project?
It does vary, but like I would say the biggest difference is whether or not the movie is something that I've seen before, or like if it's like Friday the 13th, well, that's going to be a totally different process because I've seen it, you've seen it, we've all seen it.
Yeah.
And it's like, now it's an experience. And so now the artwork is going to be more commenting on like the nostalgia and the experience of Friday the 13th, what it means to me, what it means to you, or maybe something about it. You know what I mean? But if it's a brand new movie, these are the most difficult because
Piano Fingers, for
and
example.
I've done them before. So it's like, I've done it several ways where they don't show you anything and they're just like, hey, there's we're going to release a trailer tomorrow. Have fun. And then you look at the trailer. This actually happened to me last year. And they never ended up using the artwork, and I can't say who it was. It was a very big movie, and it was not a horror movie. And it was
The Wolfman. I knew it.
It was the Wolfman. No, it was like a mainstream, like an Oscar-y movie, like one of one of these big ones. And anyways, I signed an NDA, so I'm not. But what happened was,
curse you, Oppenheimer.
The movie
fucking Barbie. All right, sorry, we're done. We're done.
No, I did work on Barbie, but that one didn't. I did stuff for the soundtrack. It was like I did a poster, and I can say that.
Yeah.
But this is totally different. What happened was they were being really cagey about their plot, and they were like, you can look at the trailer, and I'm like, okay. Like, I think I need to know more if you want a better, like, the more I know, the better the image. Right. So then they're like, ask us whatever you want. So I started asking them and they just didn't want to tell me.
What
I'm
happens
like,
in the movie? Yeah. Like,
right.
Yeah.
Simple thing. Right?
So in the end, that never works out. And that's the worst scenario. But more often than not, they give you something like a screener.
Yeah. You've been given screeners a bunch.
Yeah. Or whatever. And then that helps. But then the best scenes are always spoily scenes. So you tend to have to like really rely more on conceptual ideas for movies, which is, yeah, like I like that anyways. But
Josh, do you know, like when I have certain things going on at work, I don't even need to say it. Like because I work from home as well, Sarah. So I'll go upstairs and my wife will just know like, oh, clearly he's in the process of this arduous thing that's difficult. Like, do you know when she gets a brief and she's like, is this fucking decaf, Josh? God, what is this? Like, can you tell when she's in her process? Because I know my wife for sure can tell when I'm in mine.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Because she's, her studio space is an open loft, on our second floor.
Yeah, we're in a loft.
We're in a loft right now, so it's like
it's open.
I can hear what's going on up here from pretty much anywhere in the house.
Paper
and I can
being
usually tell
torn.
whether or not I should just steer clear for a while or check in and see if she needs a tea or something. But
well, you'll know too, because I don't know where the dog is, but usually the dog's up here with me, and he'll just get up and like run away.
Yeah,
he'll go downstairs.
He
senses it as well.
Wound up, he's like, "Okay, I'm out," and he comes downstairs to see me, and I'm like, "Oh, okay, yep."
Oh, mommy must be pissed.
I'm finding the more I go along, the less I want to do those kinds of projects.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So, what would you say, Sarah, for you? I know you mentioned a couple colleagues that you have and a few folks that have sort of been your biggest advocates throughout the process, but do you have any specific artists or directors or actors, like who are the ones out there that have been your motivators, your inspiration?
I think our group, our group, like those guys are the best. So like Jason Emiston,
Yep.
well, I talk like everybody knows, but like we're all Canadian and we all support each other and hang out together and travel together, and like it's
Hashtag
having
worst case Ontario.
Yeah, we call each other worst case Ontario. Having that group of people and that community is the best. When you're an artist and you work like this, like it's so isolating. And so being able to like have that kind of contact makes it like, I don't know, sometimes things happen like in this career and you're just like, what the fuck? Like, do I suck? Like, why am I constant? Like, two projects fell through. What the hell? Like, or, is it me, or why am I getting this note? Like, my friends are the best. Like, these guys are the best because we can bounce anything off each other or pick up a phone and send an image or whatever and get feedback and get through it. And they're the ones I have to give them all the credit. And then, some of these art directors, some of these people that I've worked with over and over again that are really inspiring. So yeah, I think I've mentioned the people.
Oh, that's great. And we're on the fringe of this group that you're describing, just by way of really interacting with all you at Horror Hound. And, Maddie was on our show episode, 13?
Yeah, him,
Yeah.
Gary. Yeah. We've had now 3.
Yeah. Got the trifecta.
Yeah.
Nice.
But
nice.
everyone in the circle that you just described, though, is
the best.
Is great.
The best human beings.
Yeah, it's wild. It really does make us think like, oh yeah, so we'll just move to Canada then, and
yeah, we do
we'll
always
just be better people.
And we honestly probably wouldn't even go to Horror Hound as regularly as we do if it wasn't for the people that we met. It's like horror merch is kind of the same everywhere.
Yeah.
Any convention probably has the stuff. It comes down to the people, and you guys have fucking made it for us. Like, we feel like honorary Canadians. I say a boot too much at home, probably. So
nice. We don't get a chance to say this kind of a thing to you guys too much either, but we definitely, you guys are a highlight of Horror Hound for us too. Like,
oh, great!
It's always awesome to get to run into you guys and have fun. Like, this year in particular, where we were watching Gary do Danzig, and then we were taking pictures, and I was photobombing the crap out of your pictures. Just
that was awesome.
Behind you.
Yeah, there was some epic karaoke. That's for sure.
Do you guys want to shift to someone that we all revere a little bit here? Stephen King. We want to talk some Stephen King?
Let's talk some Stephen King.
I pulled some statistics doing research today. 350 million plus copies of books he's sold worldwide. That's insane.
That's crazy.
It's a lot of trees.
That really is crazy.
A lot of trees.
Yeah.
And that's not even what's been printed. That's what's been sold. So think of how many are on shelves right now, right?
Wow.
Yeah.
His work's been translated over 40 languages, over 60 film and television adaptations. And just imagine writing anything, though, with the intent of like, I hope one person would like to see this, or one person would care about this. What a character. So I guess for all of you, Jamie, what was your first experience with anything related to Stephen King, film or book-wise?
The Shining.
Movie?
And that was, the movie, way too young. And then just knowing, I grew up in the 80s, so just Stephen King was huge in the 80s, and just his influence. Now there's horror writers just aplenty, but at the time, one of the main horror writers was Stephen King, so I would hear my aunts talk about reading the new novel, and I didn't read it growing up, so my exposure was film, and The Shining was the first Stephen King movie that I was subjected to. And I say subjected because I was way too young, and it was the scene in the maze where fucking Jack is chasing Danny with the fucking axe, and I just remember being like, my parents were like, get out of the fucking room!
Sarah, what about you? Your first Stephen King experience, book or movie?
I think it was Salem's Lot, and I think it was my brother teasing me. He doesn't remember this. but
Dressing
my
up as
brother-
Danny Glick while you're trying to sleep. Like, okay.
He used to tease me a lot, but it turned out that all he did was make me more of a horror buff than him. And he used to quote,
Yeah.
I didn't realize this. I just did a Stephen King Salem's Lot piece. And when I did, I was watching some clips from the movie to think about what I might want to depict. And one of them was oh my God, what is the name of the character? Anyways, it's the dude that's sitting in the rocking chair. It's the main guy, and he ends up getting turned into a vampire. And the guy was like saying, like, look into my eyes, like, look at me, look into my eyes.
Yep.
Do you remember the scene?
Yeah, of course.
So I ended up depicting the guy on my poster, like he's one of the depictions. But that's the first time.
Your brother would say that to you.
And he would say it to me, like, but he would pretend he was a vampire. But I read Salem's Lot. Like, that was the first introduction. I read it, but he had teased me before I realized what it was.
That's my favorite book of his is Salem's Lot. I know it's not the most like sophisticated piece, and he actually he's self-critical about it because of being young when he wrote it and whatnot. But that's my favorite story of his. Josh, what about you, man? Stephen King, first experience, book or movie?
Well,
it had to be a book, I would imagine.
See, I thought it would have been, but I it's a little hazy for me. But actually, the strongest, earliest memory that I'm going to go back to is The Shining as well, and it's because I was probably too young to watch it at the time, and an aunt of mine rented it for my cousin and I to watch at. Like I was staying at my cousin's place for like a sleepover or whatever, and then
you and Jamie are cousins.
My aunt had rented The Shining, and she was gonna let us watch it, and I'm like, I think we were like 11 or so, and she was pretty cool. So she was like, no, you guys, it's gonna be fine. We were like
Is
right into
Aunt
it.
Judy?
No, it's no.
I was gonna say
no.
Scandalous.
I know, right? No, it was another one. My Aunt Judy is amazing, but it wasn't her. But it stands out of my mind because oh my God, an adult's letting us watch this, and then we're watching it, and it's scary as fuck, and it's amazing. And then you get to the scene with the lady in the tub, and then my aunt was like, okay, all right, boys, maybe just cover your eyes for a little while here, just cover your eyes, and so I think I want to say that's probably the earliest encounter with this stuff, and from there I went into reading tons of books and loving all of it. So.
I just feel like that would have been late because you're talking about watching a VHS. When did you have a VHS?
My aunt had one. It was like mid 80s.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, I know. Not a lot of people had machines or like actually back then you could rent a VHS machine too, right?
That's
You just rent a VCR.
Not in my hometown.
No. Yeah, I was from a small town too,
and we had like four channels because my parents didn't have cable.
We were talking to
the
someone.
First time I saw cable was when I was like 20.
Wow.
In college.
Was it Emily Bennett? I think she was talking about how she grew up in a small town too, and the gas station was like the video store too. And I think she said that she would have to rent a VHS player from the gas station.
Huh.
Yeah.
Which is wild.
Well, we didn't have to. Well, my parents did get one eventually, but I feel like it was like definitely not. That would be after when you would have had it.
Yeah.
But the gas station was the video rental place, and that is where I developed my love of cassette cases.
Yeah.
Because I didn't give a shit what the movie was about. I would just be like, I remember the one, is it April Fool's where the woman has like a braid
It's like a
noose
news.
and she's holding the knife. I used to constantly look at that and be like, can we watch this one?
Yeah.
And my brother was always like, that one sucks.
Oh no, it's so good.
Boo, disagree, brother.
Mine was always Candyman. I remember looking at the cover of Candyman and having a lot of questions. Silence of the Lambs, and then also Night of the Demons. That
Night of the
cover.
Demons. That's a good cover. Yeah.
I just remember so much being like, "What is going on here?" And what's her name, Angela or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a prominent one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's that. You know what? That's part of
the house one.
That stuff.
What is it?
Right?
Which
House? Oh yeah.
Is it how with the
hands?
hand?
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
good too.
Yeah.
That's the height of when, like, illustrators at their full power of just what they can do and bring to a movie. You see a painted image of something that's just blows your mind, and you're like, I need to know what that is about. Like that's when the real magic happens for what you do.
Well, this brings me full circle to Stephen King again, because like I was telling him the story because he's been reading a lot of Stephen King lately since he's been convalescing after his surgery. My library in my small town, super small library, there was a restricted section that you couldn't go into.
It's like Hogwarts.
Well, it's not like they were burning books or editing. It was just like I was a child and you had to be a certain age. Like I think it was
like an adult
like,
section, basically.
Yeah, but I think it was not that. I think it was
Probably
like 14
teeny
or something like that.
Yeah.
But anyways, the Stephen King books were in there, and my dad would take me to the library every week, and I would just hang out with him. So I'd be in the restricted section. I'd be always in there looking at the Stephen King books, like wanting to, and he would check them out, like, and let me read it. So,
I was gonna ask, like, if your so the story you just told about being at the video store with your brother and stuff, like, were your parents growing up, did they enable your fascination with the genre, or were they?
Yeah,
like,
they didn't.
Yeah.
They. I mean, it's not like they watched a lot of. It's not like they watched a lot of horror movies, but it's not like they didn't. I think they just rented whatever was new. I think they let us pick one, and then they picked theirs. Like I have this terrible, like, this is how little they cared about restricted. I have this like traumatic memory. Mine is Fatal Attraction. They let me watch that. I was
Holy
way
shit.
too young. And I just remember like disappearing into the
Pillows of the couch.
I'm like, I don't want to watch this, but I felt like I can't
No,
leave because then it's saying more if I left or something. I don't know. It was a weird.
No,
But my brother was
That
7
movie's
years older than
uncomfortable
me,
now.
as an
Yeah.
adult,
Yeah, as a 43-year-old man here,
Yeah,
I'm uncomfortable watching
and
that movie.
Glenn Close.
Like
with
Glenn
the
Close?
perm and
What the
crazy-
fuck? Yeah.
that is the
No,
stuff.
my brother showed me all kinds of stuff,
Wow.
like aliens and all that stuff. Like when I was way too young, I was like the same age as Newt,
Yeah.
and he showed
yeah.
it to me. So
Yeah.
Sarah, I actually have a very similar. I'm only bringing this up because
Oh, here
it's
we
so
go.
similar. Yeah, I know. I've brought it up a
This
million
is
times.
really fucked up,
But
Jamie.
my stepdad took me to see Basic Instinct when I was like 10. And I don't know if you've seen that, but I was doing the Josh thing where I was like,
Yeah.
because like that movie opens with the strongest sex scene. And then it just keeps going from there. And I just remember, so actually what happened was I said I wanted to see Wayne's World. And my pervo stepdad was like, well, I'm going to see Basic Instinct. I'm just going to buy you a ticket. You go in and see Wayne's World. Well, nobody bought a ticket to Wayne's World, so they didn't play it.
Oh my god!
So I was
dude.
stuck sitting in this theater watching goddamn Basic Instinct, and it was just the worst experience of my life.
Oh
because it
yeah.
was
Like especially
it's
like
not
watching that with
sexy
your
at
dad,
all.
you're like,
That's not a sexy movie. That just is a dark.
No.
Oh my god, I can't watch that movie to this day. I'm just traumatized.
Oh, that's heavy.
I've got a good story in that vein I can share with you guys.
Yeah,
that's
please.
horror related. So like speaking of parents enabling your interests, like my dad was very much open to that kind of a thing too. My parents were divorced when I was 4, but I would spend my summers with my dad. And one of the things that we used to do that I enjoyed the most was it was always like, we're going to movies. You know, like
Yeah,
every week or every other week, it would be a big deal. It's like Friday's rolling around. We're going to get to go see a movie. This is awesome. Like, and he was always very open about what I could see. And
yeah,
for
he
the most
was.
part, yeah. So, but we, my age is going to creep in here. But we used to go to drive-ins, and he would sneak me in. Just I'd lay down in the back, put a blanket on me, et cetera, et cetera. But anyways, one time we went to the drive-in to see The Believers. Do you guys remember that one?
Oh, yeah, with
You're gonna have
Martin
to Google
Sheen?
that.
mid-'80s movie with
I don't
Martin
remember that.
Martin Sheen. Yeah,
Jamie,
and
of
it's
course you
basically a
remember this.
voodoo. It's about
Dude,
a
that
voodoo
movie's
cult.
fucking great. Yeah,
It's about what now?
It's like there's a voodoo cult.
1987.
Yeah.
what's his
Is that
son's name?
Charlie Sheen? Is that Martin Sheen?
Martin.
Martin.
Sheen, yeah.
Yeah. What's his
So-
son's name?
so-
Michael or something?
Charlie's
Charlie. He's yelling the whole time. Charlie.
Oh, you mean in the movie, the character?
in the
name?
movie. Sorry,
The little boy.
Sorry, I
Yeah.
forget what the boy's name was. But so anyway, so it's
Chris.
there was like traumatic scenes in
Chris!
that I remember, like somebody got cursed, and I don't even remember who, because I haven't seen it in forever, but somebody got cursed and they had like a blister on their cheek, and then there's a scene where they do a close up on the blister and it's getting huge, and the
Oh,
person
is
like
there going to be
tries to like
bugs.
burst it open and a bunch of spiders and bugs and stuff come out of it.
yeah.
Oh,
Like
so like
that
scary
traumatized
stories.
me.
to tell
Yeah,
in the dark.
that's
Yeah. Okay. So, but here's the thing. Keeping in mind everything I just said about this scenario,
I'm reading about it now.
we're like more than halfway through this movie, and then all of a sudden my dad just turns the car, like fires up the car, and we just drive away.
What?
Yeah, and I'm like, whoa, what?
That's
Like I was already freaked out by this movie, but I'm like, my dad's like he's like checked
So
out.
why
We're
did
like
your dad
leaving
do
the
that?
drive-in. I'm like, what the fuck? Like that freaked me out about that movie for years, and I didn't see the movie for years because again, back then
you need to check in with your dad and find out what the trauma was.
Right. Well, I did figure it out when I finally watched it, like many years later. Just rented it one time just to see it. Like I was always very scared of this movie
When was
because
this?
yeah, like this, like
1987.
late 80s, early 90s, or
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah, like so I had built it up in my head as this crazy. This movie must be insanely
Because my
scary
dad
because
had to
my
tap
dad
out.
freaked out and like he lets me watch anything and like he was freaked out by it. Like what the
Yeah,
hell
but
happens in
what's
this
not-
movie?
Come on, what was it? What was it?
So in the end, it was the very fact that the voodoo cult was trying to get him, the dad, to sacrifice his son,
Yeah.
Oh,
the sake of the cult. Right.
Yeah.
And so my
Okay.
dad was like, oh, I don't want you seeing that and thinking that I'm gonna like do that to you or something.
He's
that
like-
makes
oh,
sense.
this makes so much sense.
I
He's
will
like,
say-
I can't have my son not sleeping.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
You know, spiders crawling out of a bloody pustule on somebody's cheek, whatever. Voodoo curses,
Messed
that's
up.
all fine. But like, I won't have you thinking that I'm gonna come after you for a
Well,
cult. Like
Now that you've mentioned this, that is pretty disturbing.
he certainly wouldn't. I wouldn't ever say that he's, you know, he's not the first horror novelist, but he was certainly inspired by others that came before him, like Richard Matheson as an example, right? Like, but I mean, it's not even an argument. He's most clearly like the single most popular, widespread influence on that whole genre,
Yeah.
just from what he did. And if you think about something like Carrie being his first novel, like that, it's a scary novel, but it's about something real that they're going through, right? Like that whole
Yeah.
high school life. And
Yeah.
but then he just, for that one in particular, it's like he just tweaks it with that little hint of supernatural. It's a hint, like the fact that she has like those
Yeah.
the powers.
It's not like defined. It's bullying. It's
Yeah.
being an outsider. It's not feeling like you're part of the community.
Yeah.
That's
There's so much of
relatable.
it that's relatable. And then
Yeah.
I mean, it certainly didn't hurt that the movie did so well just shortly after the book did so well as his first
I know.
thing.
Like
novel,
it's your
right?
first
But
book,
the
and then
subject
Brian
matter
De
of it
Palma's
is-
making the movie, and you're like, what happened here? Yeah.
Yeah. Like, and that's I would think that something like that helped kind of just propel him forward, right? Like you just get that overnight success, even if he had been clearly, working at writing for years leading up to that point where he got his breakthrough. But once he was there, it's like the guy's like he's tapping the vein or whatever. It's just he just has to keep the taps running, and he's got endless ideas for things. Like it's crazy that he's written over 60 novels. And I mean, some people are overly critical, and they may say, some of it's stronger than others. But I mean, by and large, like Sarah just mentioned earlier that I started reading recently. I haven't really read anything of his in a long time, like newer stuff. Like the last new one that I've read was Dr. Sleep when it came out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And
I think that's the same for me.
It's kind of like I was almost like 10 years on either side of that novel. Like I hadn't read anything for at least 10 years prior to that book, and I haven't read anything since until recently. But so reading some of his newer stuff now, I'm like, no, it's still fascinating. Like all of it's,
He's like
Interesting.
he's a machine for like a quick concept on a quick premise.
That's what he does so well. And I know, Jamie, we talk about this all the time. The movies we gravitate most toward have these characters that you care about in some capacity. It's like you either want them to live, you want them to make it, you want them to end up together at the end, you want them to, or you want them to die because they're so detestable, or like, that's what he does so well. Is he makes you care about the characters. He makes you have a reaction to the characters. Like Henry Bowers in It. It's like, no, there's not a more detestable human that's ever existed than this person.
Oh.
Until you read the next book and you're like, well, never mind, there is.
Oh, yep.
Well, I thought too, like something like The Mist was such an interesting study in human interaction,
Mhm.
society, right?
That little
Like
microcosm.
so fascinating. It was like the bugs and the weird Lovecraftian stuff going on outside of the grocery store was like not even as interesting as what was going on in the dynamic inside of the store, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that is pretty wild.
and meanwhile, they're like, yeah, this might be what it's like if there's a global pandemic one day.
100%.
And then,
Yeah.
all right, I printed out a fun game for us. This is gonna be a rapid fire
Oh, yeah.
round. All right,
Oh God.
so it's just
I'm gonna not be able to.
There's going to be a lot of backfiring in this rapid firing.
a series of questions. We're gonna cycle through here. These are all Stephen King centric. It's not a quiz. It's like a what's your preference type of thing.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So I thought it'd be fun to sweep through this. So, Jamie, favorite Stephen King novel for you?
All right. So, as anyone who listens to the podcast knows, I've never read an entire Stephen King book because
Perfect.
I'm just not a
Thought
big
we'd
reader.
Just start with you on this.
But
question.
mine is Pet Semetary because that's the one I've read most of.
It's your
It's a
favorite
good one.
cover. Yeah.
Ooh,
Josh, favorite Stephen King novel?
that's very high on my list too. It might be a tie between Pet Sematary and The Shining, just because both of those novels are far scarier than like the movies. Like even like I love the Kubrick movie, but like the novel is just fantastic.
Yeah.
The made for TV series is actually closer to the book, I think, with the guy from Wings. In terms of like the story replicating the story.
Yeah, I haven't seen that in forever though. I can't really.
Yeah, like with the bushes turning into animals and stuff. It's just way harder to do, and it looks like shit because of that.
But it's it's great.
Yeah,
it's a little more faithful. Yeah.
Sarah, favorite Stephen King novel?
I'm gonna go with Salem's Lot because of nostalgia. I do really, really like The Shining though.
Salem's Lot is mine as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, let's go in reverse order now. Sarah, favorite Stephen King adapted film?
You're making it hard.
You only get one. And you can pick the remake of Salem's Lot if you want. That came out last year.
No, I wanna say like The Shining, but he doesn't like it. It's not true to
he doesn't like it. Yeah. Yeah, but
just go with the Steven Weber one. There you go.
Well, I mean, it's going to be The Shining, I think, because I just really like.
Yeah, I mean, as a movie, yeah,
it's a totally fair pick.
I like Stand By Me. I like Shawshank Redemption. I like all that. There's some really good ones. I'm not a huge fan. Like, I like Misery, but I just don't want to watch it.
Yeah,
I mean, it's heavy.
Fair.
It's a lot to. I mean, that's like eating a pound cake every night before bed, and you're like, why do I weigh so much? And you're like, well. You have a pound before bed every night.
Yeah,
it is a really heavy movie. Josh, what about you, man?
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to turn that into a boring conversation and say The Shining as well, but I do think it is. It's like sadly for the fact that he doesn't think that it's a good adaptation. He famously doesn't like it. I think it's just such an excellent movie all around. Like it's hard to not pick that one as my favorite one. Again, going back to that story, like I saw
You should pick Maximum Overdrive because he actually directed that.
That's the only movie he's ever directed.
Yeah. But you know what? I will say Creep Show as well.
Oh yeah, he has the comic. Josh has it.
Yeah.
George Romero and Stephen King together. What a little mashup there.
Yeah.
Right? Oh yeah. Yeah.
I like Creep Show more than Creep Show 2, but my favorite segment is definitely the raft from Creep Show.
Yes. And that is based on one of his short stories, right? That one. Like I think a lot of the stories he wrote for the movie, but the raft is based on an actual short story from before.
Jamie, what about you, man?
I'm going to be boring here and say Pet Sematary again. But honestly, this is like blasphemous probably to a lot of people, but runner up would be It Chapter 1. I love that.
Like the newer one?
I really love that newer one. Yeah.
Fuck you, Jamie.
Yeah.
You're trash.
You know what? It is.
That movie is just so good, and they really genuinely made it scary. The second chapter is a letdown, but that first chapter is just so good.
That scene in the garage, so well done.
Oh,
it comes out of the screen.
Yeah, so well done.
I mean, that's a great movie.
Just the opening of that movie, like with the storm.
Oh my god, it's so good
with Georgie.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And the way that
I
old
remember
woman's
when in the theater, I was just like, Like I was like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, we saw that with our Ontario crew. So Matt and Gary and Jason and all
Yeah.
those guys.
Yeah.
We all
Wow.
went and saw that one together.
Well, I was there in spirit.
It was good.
I can I just say though,
No.
like as a like you know, I largely grew up as a book nerd, so like I loved reading books when I was a kid, and I read so many of the Stephen King books before there were any adaptations of them, and like Pet Semetary is high on my list of on the book side, but it's not as high on the movie side because at the time, you know, I was just so invested in I had, you know, if you read the book first, sometimes a film or a TV adaptation just doesn't line up, doesn't add up with what you were hoping for. And I do remember being like, what the hell is all this shit with the sister and all that stuff in the movie? Like the extra stuff that wasn't even necessarily part of the.
Oh, what you mean like Zelda? Was it Zelda?
Yeah.
Oh.
And
She was freaky.
So it is like the
Why was
Pet
she
Semetary
skinny?
movie is
She was
definitely
just sick, right?
Yeah, she was
She had
sick, yeah.
spinal meningitis.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, spinal meningitis.
That was a weird,
It's creepy and
creature
freaky and
effect.
all that, and like, and I mean that, you know,
Makes a good movie.
separate entities. The movie is a
Yeah.
cult classic for a good reason. I mean, I do enjoy it now, but I just remember at the time, like I saw it new in the theater, and I was like, "What is this shit? Like, this is just not. It's not like the book. I don't
What
get
is this
why do they
shit?
do this stuff? You know, like all that kind
Yeah.
of angry.
Why do they do this
Jo-
stuff?
one of Josh's favorites is Christine, though.
Yes.
All right, so
Yes.
that's my pick. That my favorite Stephen King
So
adapted
good.
film is Christine.
So good.
I'd say
Right on.
Yeah.
Good choice. Good choice.
That is a
Yeah.
great one.
I gotta.
It never gets mentioned, like
I actually forgot about
outside
that.
of
so.
horror convention.
Yeah, and by the way, like as far as that might be like next to Halloween, it might be one of my favorite John Carpenter themes that he came up with.
Oh, yeah, I
that-
know you like it.
That's definitely one of the better
his theme
ones,
for
yeah.
Christine.
John, I don't see best miniseries in here.
What? All right.
What is that?
What's your
What
best?
about
All right, so-
Lawnmower Man?
all right.
No love for Lawnmower Man?
Ugh. God. No.
I do
It's a
actually like the
story.
short story.
It's something.
The short story is good.
Most fantastical. All right, well, let's hit favorite short story.
There you go. Yeah.
That's Stand By Me, The Body.
Yeah, that's a good choice.
I would pick that.
Yeah,
That's a good choice.
I mean, I feel like I'd have to go with The Raft.
So I've only read one. I read an entire short story of his, and it was Elevation. So I'm going to go with that.
So
Did I pick one? I didn't pick the short story yet, or did we? Are we?
No, you didn't.
what you got, buddy?
Okay, so I'm gonna go with the Running Man. Actually,
Ooh, good
Wow.
one.
yeah,
Really
It's,
good.
I
Uh,
forgot that's a.
because I mean, you know, the Arnie movie's awesome for its in its own right, but again, coming into this theme of like King adaptations that are just completely different, or you know, spins of the original material. But like when I finally read the short story, I was really blown away by how serious it was. It feels like his version of like Fahrenheit 451 or something.
Yeah.
Actually, and even like especially now, the very fact that it spoilers for anybody for a 40-year-old short story, but like the fact that it ends with the airplane crashing into the Twin Towers, like is
Yeah.
a very different read now. Like, I mean, I read it before that actually happened, but like now it's like that has actually happened in the world. Another one of these things that he almost predicted in a weird way.
There's a new movie coming out, isn't there? A new
I
Running Man?
think so. Yeah, I think I heard something about that. Yeah.
Starring
got that,
Arnold.
That would be
Uh,
interesting. I would like to
it's got
see
that-
something that's a little bit closer of an adaptation to that story, but that one really stayed with me.
That's what I was going to ask, is if you guys knew if it was closer to the novel or short story. All right, John, let's do favorite miniseries. I'm going to go with Storm of the Century.
Don't you have it on VHS?
Yeah, do you?
I don't.
I don't.
Wait, you don't have it on
No.
VHS?
But if
Do
you
I?
want to give it to me, I'll take it.
Or they had it at
They
I
had
think
it at Horror Hound.
Hound. Yeah, yeah.
And
that-
I think you and I were both drooling over it,
Yeah.
but never bought it. Yeah.
why did we watch that? It was for something.
Yeah, it was
for something for
winter horror or
Yeah.
something.
I mean, that's a fantastic pick, but to be honest, like I feel like I have to pick The Shining.
But that's not the best.
It's the
just
one
not.
I enjoy.
Let's be honest. It's just not. But no, that's fair. That's fine. Because nostalgia plays a huge part in like the accuracy with the novel.
I'll be honest, like having read
you
The
love Steven
Shining
Weber.
before I watched the Kubrick interpretation, Josh, I had that affliction occur where I was like, this isn't my fucking story. Like, what's going on here? Why were all these liberties taken, right? And then you read about Stephen King not liking liberties too. You're like, yeah, no, I'm with you, Steve.
Fair enough.
So I mean, but the movie I have grown to adore, and it's impeccable and it's incredible in its own right. But I really do appreciate how close to the novel that it
tries to get.
Yeah. What about you guys?
I might have to revisit that one.
I would pick for nostalgic reasons. I would pick It with Tim Curry.
I do really. I mean, that was probably what I should have selected.
Yeah, that's the OG. Yeah.
It's not easy to watch, though. It's like super long and
that one
drawn out. But
that one feels very dated. Like it feels more dated than I don't know. It's that could be my number one, but I just love Storm of the Century so much.
Tim Curry his portrayal of Pennywise, it needs to be highlighted.
And the kids were like, the kids were such prominent kids at the time
Jonathan
too.
Brandis,
so like they were just like in what's the word I'm looking for? It was like cemented in pop culture at the time. Yeah. I think the kid from Rookie of the Year, right? Isn't his buddy that he builds a raft with? Oh. Isn't he in It? I think he is. He's the one who sees his dad in the sewer.
No.
Oh,
I might be wrong about this, but
is that him? I just watched Rookie of the Year.
I feel like his buddy that he builds a raft with. Yeah,
I mean,
the bigger one, not the one with the douchey hair.
Yeah, I hope it's him, but I do hear your point though about like the pop cultureness and growing up. Like I probably saw this in 94, 95
when it came out. Probably, yeah.
I think it came out in 1990.
Oh, you didn't see it then?
Well, I was only 3 or 4 then, so.
Oh, you weren't my age then.
I probably saw it, but was
9 channel surfing. Yeah. Like, what is this?
Yeah. What about you, Josh? Anything come to mind?
Okay, so I would say that personally, I don't have really strong ties to any particular miniseries. I did see It when it came out, and again, that was another thing where I had read that book and it scared the shit out of me. And I loved it. Like, to me, It is a top 3 all-time scariest of his novels.
Easy.
And so seeing this, like, there are moments in that adaptation, but it doesn't hit it for me. And also, like, Salem's Lot, the original miniseries, I didn't see it back then. I think that was one of the things that I just didn't get to see when it was actually on TV. And so I kind of missed out on it until much later in life. So the impact was lessened by watching something that's really old that I just didn't quite connect with. So I'm going to kind of cheat and kind of say something maybe semi-blasphemous to some, but I did actually really enjoy that recent adaptation of Salem's Lot. And I'm sort of cheating because I don't think that was just a one-part movie adaptation of it. But
I don't think Josh has seen many of the miniseries.
It's also not very good, Josh. I love you.
No, it's not.
I don't know, man. I know. I don't think I understand the things that people have problems with it, but I enjoyed it when I watched it.
It looks incredible. Like it's really.
Oh my god, dude!
I think it was a mistake It was a mistake to make it a movie. They should have just done another 2 or 3 part extended.
This is the thing that happens with a lot of Stephen King, and it's the same with like how many Carrie movies do we need? I think he did it. I think we're good.
Yeah.
Like we don't need any more Carrie movies.
Yeah.
All right.
What about favorite antagonist or favorite bad guy,
Pennywise.
bad girl?
Favorite villain.
Favorite villain. Yeah, favorite villain.
It's Pennywise for me.
I mean, that's
because he can be anything, and he's like this weird thing that's somehow like. I don't he's not supernatural, or is he? He's like this strange being. It's almost like a Lovecraftian. Yeah, he's not a god. He's more like a creature, but it's not. It's like a mythical something.
Yeah. That's the mythical.
Yeah,
it's almost like Lovecraftian.
Yeah, like a mythical creature. Yeah, man, there really are so many good ones.
There are just so many bad,
because like Barlow is fucking amazing.
But
he's more like a traditional vampire.
Yeah, he's not really
When you think of a villain, like. So if the most recent book that Josh, you and Sarah and Josh have read was Dr. Sleep, you probably missed out on the Mr. Mercedes series.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't.
Well, I actually I've been dipping into that stuff. I skipped I skipped the Mr. Mercedes trilogy, but I ended up reading. I read these slightly in reverse order because I just read.
You read Holly?
Yeah. Well, I read If It Bleeds, but there's a Holly short story in that, so I read that and I was like, oh, I'm interested in this, right? And so I ended up going back and looking at what else she had been in, and so I ended up reading The Outsider next. And I really enjoyed that quite a bit. But I was looking at the Mr. Mercedes, and I know that that's where her character starts, is in that trilogy of books. But I was
How many
like,
movies has Flanagan done for Stephen
it's done
King?
a lot. Yeah.
Because he did Gerald's Game.
Yeah.
That's a hard ass watch.
I haven't seen that one. We haven't seen that one.
Well, what he's done? How many
he
has
did
he
Doctor
done?
Sleep. He
Did Doctor Sleep?
Yeah.
He did do
That's
Doctor
3.
Sleep. Yeah.
And he did Life of Chuck. And
Well, that was in my 3.
but there was something else.
Yeah, Gerald's Game. I haven't seen the Netflix one yet. Have you seen it?
It's not.
Oh yeah,
That's a really heavy
I
story.
would recommend
and,
not watching that.
Yeah.
This subject matter.
So put it in with. So I should watch like Misery and Gerald's Game like all in one afternoon.
Yeah.
I mean,
Dolores
Gerald's Game
Claiborne.
though has a level. Again, when you talk about villain, the
It's
reason
masterfully shot and directed and filmed. It looks amazing. It's a great movie. It's just so unpalatable because of the subject matter.
Yeah.
I can tell that from the snippets that we've seen of trailers of it and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know about that one, but
So
I never read that book back in the day either. So.
I'm a big advocate though. Like Holly Gibney is one of my favorite characters, and
Yeah, she's pretty awesome.
listening to him talk about her as if she has her own life and her own contribution. And after he wrapped up, I think it was after The Outsider, before the Holly book came out, and then this most recent one he just released this year also focuses around her.
Never Flinch, I think.
Yeah, Never Flinch. Yeah, that's the one I'm currently working through.
I haven't read that one yet, but I'm gonna.
But it's so interesting to hear him describe her as this character that has more to give and more to say and more to do. Like he can't control it, and it's up to her.
Yeah.
It's just fascinating to hear that. And because of her emphasis and commitment to wanting to control and be in charge of scenarios, the bad guy through that series, those first 3 books, I'm probably the only person, Sarah, unless you've read them, there's this Brady Hartsfield character in those books, and he is just a shit. Like he's that like Henry Bowers level of bad, and he's like rooted in the real world kind of bad. Whereas Pennywise, I look at and I'm like, you're terrifying, you're supernatural, you're the anti-Superman. Like Superman's the strongest, can't, nothing hurts this guy except for kryptonite sort of mentality. Like that's Pennywise just for bad guys. Whereas this Brady Hartsfield character is just this detestable, he's sexist, he's racist, he's violent, he's vile, he's manipulative, he's charismatic. Like he has that whole thing. It's like, does this guy work at Subway? Like, did this guy make my sandwich today? And that
Right.
Those are the elements of Stephen King that get to you where you're like, whoa,
Yeah.
this is heavy. So that would, I guess, be one of my answers to that question of like most tough bad guy, I guess. What about you, man?
I agree with Pennywise, of course, but also I would say that dude from Needful Things, I can't think of his name.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Mr. I know this one.
And Needful Things is such a good story too, man.
But the way that he makes everybody kind of prey on their own insecurities and lash out at other people, the way he manipulates everybody against each other is just insane.
Yeah.
Did Needful Things like sort of dovetail into Salem's Lot somehow? Why is that ringing a bell for me?
Did you watch the Castle Rock show?
No.
We watched like an episode of it,
Did
I think,
we?
once. Yeah. I didn't get into it.
It's worth
The first
revisiting
season
and
was
checking
good.
out.
Yeah. Skarsgård.
Yeah, the first season is good. It's
His
sort
name
of a
is Leland
mashup.
Gaunt.
Leland Gaunt. There you go. Yeah.
There are just so many characters and character names that he'll reuse and recycle, and you do feel like, Sarah, to your point, like you're in this like King universe almost when you're participating in the stories, because normally they all take place. But that's part of actually what I like about the Mr. Mercedes series is it takes place in Cleveland, which is our backyard, right? And
That first season Man, so good.
Oh, on the show?
Yeah, the Mr. Mercedes. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been talking about that to Sarah because I've been reading some of those Holly stories. I want to just kind of watch the show of the Mr. Mercedes
dude.
show, and then
Josh, you got to read the books, man. Like the show's good, but like if you're doing this, like you're.
I read them
talking to
out
the
of
wrong
order though,
person.
so I'm like, I feel like I'm going backwards, and I'm like,
Yeah.
The Outsider show is also
You are.
amazing.
is it good?
Oh.
Okay, yeah, I'm interested
The
in watching that
Outsiders
now
is
that I've
great.
read that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I heard that they changed up the actors playing the character though, which kind of sucks. Like Holly's character is played by somebody totally different in Outsider or something. Like that's
She
kind of a
is.
shame. Like
She is.
to change it up. But
Yeah, and again, you're talking to somebody who's never read the books, so my opinion is probably shit compared to someone who's read, and then because they always say like a good book ruins a good movie and vice versa.
yeah,
My
for
mom
sure.
always told me that after we watched Bridges of Madison County in the theater, and I probably fell asleep. And then she told me about that. She said the book was better.
While you were
I'll
sleeping,
take your
she
word for it,
whispered
Mom.
into your ear.
Josh, did you give us a villain, man? I don't think you did.
I did not.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about it, and I don't have a ton to back this up, based on like things that I've read, but or seen. But I am very fascinated by Flag, the fucking guy that from The Stand.
Oh, yeah.
Because like that character, right, is
Isn't he
permeates
supposed to be Satan?
kind of like it's like he permeates so many of King's other books. Like he's like, and actually that's my next project for reading is going to be the Dark Tower series.
I
Because
was literally just about to ask if you guys have read any of those. So that's
I've read the first three. I read the first three back when they were coming out. Well, I read the first three around the time that The Wastelands was the newest one, and then I didn't end up finishing it. Like I never got back around to. Again, I hit a weird pause where I just didn't read anything of his again for like a long stretch. So I missed out on all the last four books of the Dark Tower series. And so I want to reread them now. And I was just speaking with a guy at work who's a huge King fan, and he went off on a tangent and down a rabbit hole of reading all of the other books, all the other King books that have references to the stuff from the Dark Tower. And I didn't even realize apparently there's a huge one, like Salem's Lot has a character that is a big deal in one of those books. And like I don't want to know yet. I'm going to read them and find out what that is.
Yeah.
But I just love that he has woven so much of that stuff through everything. And I think Flag is kind of a big part of the Dark Tower too, if I'm not mistaken. But certainly from The Stand, like to begin with, like that's an awesome book too.
I think there are four references through four stories or something to the character of Doc Halloran, for example. So he does do that. Like he'll recycle a concept or not even recycle, but like connect. It's like a quilt, when you look at his entire body of work, you're like, oh wow, there's a connectivity here, whether it's intentional, sporadic, thoughtful, or random, I don't know. But every time it happens and you're part of it, you're like, I get it. You're like looking at you're reading on the couch. You look over at I look over at my wife and I just nod like, mm-hmm. And she's like, why the fuck are you looking at me that way?
Creep, get off the couch.
Doc Halloran reference. Yeah. Solid, right?
I also, one of the other books that I recently read was Just After Sunset. That's another one of his short story compilations. It's from late 2000s, 2008, I think. And just speaking of the way things are so interconnected, and yet is it a throwaway or isn't it? There's one story in there that I really, really like, my most favorite story, and it has a connection to Carrie, but only because it takes place in the city where Carrie's mother was born in, but doesn't live in the Carrie novel.
So
it's one of those things where you would just know that if you like looked it up. Like I was reading because I was just, when I was reading some of those books recently, I just wanted to know, like, if about connections like that. So I looked it up, and somebody had compiled a list of all the cities that he has written about, like in his books, all the fictional cities that he's come up with and tied things together. And it just turned out that city in that one story that I really liked, it turned out that that's where Carrie's mom was born. And I'm like, oh, wow. Okay, cool.
Man, her mom was messed up.
Yeah.
Talk about villains. Get out of here.
Yeah.
What?
Right?
I don't even
We're all
want to
gonna
say it.
laugh
Like,
at you.
I'm uncomfortable talking about it, but when she's like, I don't even want to say it.
Mm.
So
All right.
goodbye.
What are you gonna say?
When she's talking about her daughter's boobs and she keeps calling them dirty pillows, it's like, what the fuck?
Oh, the
Oh,
dirty.
yeah.
Yeah.
Dirty
I know.
pillows?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's the kind of thing where you read that and you're like,
Yeah.
I need to leave Earth for a moment.
These are the real. Yeah. It is the real horror though when it's real people that
Yeah.
they're so messed up.
Man. All right, last question on this before we wrap up. Someone's never read Stephen King. What do you recommend to them? Where do you recommend they start?
The Shining.
What about you, Jamie?
I usually recommend that one.
Pet Semetary.
It's scary.
Because
That's a
that's
good
where you
one, though,
started.
actually.
This is where I've ended
It's a perfect spot
do-
to start and end.
and never
I
finish.
do think that Pet Semetary is a good, solid, easy. Like it's an easier one.
Yeah.
It's a good one to get into his style.
I think it's the scariest book, personally.
Yeah, it's definitely up there. Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of it's got a fairy tale quality to it almost.
And he does
Like a
this
dark fairy tale.
thing with repetition that I always find to be fascinating. It's almost like when at least this happens to me, but if I'm really sick, let's say I have the flu and I'm having fever dreams, that happens to me during my fever dream. I'll have like a repetitive thing that like cycles through my mind over and over and over again, and you feel like you're hallucinating and losing your fucking mind. And
Yep.
he does that so well in so many stories, but particularly in Pet Semetary at like toward the end, I think the phrase is like Oz the Great and Terrible, but like it's like being said by someone that has a speech impediment, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And he just like repeats it and he'll be describing this like scene of just disgust and fear and rage and like all these violent, intense emotions, and then he'll like weave in this repeating thing, like he'll describe something disgusting and it'll be like Oz the Great and Terrible, disgusting, Oz the Great and Terrible, another disgusting scene, Oz the Great and Terrible. And then before you like, remember that day you guys got home? We were living in Chicago at the time. You guys just got home and I was like finishing the book.
I do remember that. Yeah.
You opened the door and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah. You got all scared because we came in the
Yeah.
back. Yeah.
Oh, so yeah.
Well, he does that in The Shining with the countdown. Do you remember it? Like, and you guys because he's like, was it 4, 3, 2, 1 unmask?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, because it was New Year's,
Yep.
but I think the countdown gets shorter and shorter, and it's because the hotel's like really waking up, really winding up.
Yeah.
So I remember that
Yeah.
pacing of that.
Tommy
was
Knockers.
really freaky.
He does it in Tommy
Yeah.
Knockers,
Yeah.
which is probably my least favorite story that he's ever written because I think it's boring. But also, Maddie said it was one of his favorites growing up. So, Maddie, I love you endlessly. But still,
Also,
I'm
that
on
mini
Maddie's side on
series.
that.
I don't think
I do.
Maddie made it this far. Hi, Maddie.
yeah. This
If
is
Maddie,
where we're
if
gonna
you
find
made it
out.
this
Yeah.
far, I want to know.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's no
I'm not
way.
going to bring it up.
There is
You're
no
gonna
way.
Tell me.
It's like too much of those non-Canadian guys over there
Yeah.
droning on about shit again.
Yep.
There is a story in If It Bleeds that is like that too, and it's called Rat, and it's actually a really good story because it also does that thing that he does where so many of his characters are writers, and then there's something about struggling with writing the character goes through, and but this story called Rat, I don't want to spoil it for you guys if you haven't read that one yet, but like, you know, a guy just basically he struggled to write. And he did a couple of short stories, but he didn't get far. And then all of a sudden he had an idea for a novel. And then it turns out that every time he tries to write an actual novel, he has a full on mental breakdown. But he's like, no, I have an idea for a novel that I'm going to go through with it this time. And then he like takes himself away and he goes out into the country and into a retreat and he starts trying to write this thing. And then this weird thing happens with a rat. And I won't spoil it, but it's like by the end of it, people are just going around and saying things, and he just keeps thinking that they're saying the word rat, and they're not. They're just like it'd be like somebody's just saying all right, but he hears them say all rat.
Is this the story about how he wrote The Mangler? About the demonic laundry press?
Oh, the Mangler.
Yeah.
We actually talked about that with Maddie. Remember?
Yeah.
The Mangler, the movie.
That
So
is-
you have done a
Toby
Stephen
Hooper
King
did that.
podcast
Yeah.
Wrangler,
before.
yeah.
Yeah.
Stephen
Man.
King touches everything.
Yeah, Josh, you basically just described my morning before I start work. What you just described. That's
Yeah,
me getting
okay.
ready for work. Like,
That's-
I can do this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna be good at this today. And
Yeah.
And then
yeah,
and then you write the Mangler.
Then, yeah. No,
your
precisely.
version of the Mangler happens.
Jamie, what are you recommending to a first-time Stephen King reader?
I already said Pet Sematary.
Oh, Pet Semetary.
He's staying with Pet Cemetery.
So,
That's my answer for everything. Yeah.
Josh, did you have one?
I didn't say one yet, but I'm thinking.
That's what we did.
No, I'm thinking like I would have our well. I could break it down too much and go, well, what kind of fan are we talking about here? Like, are we talking about
I know.
somebody that
Yeah.
We're
wants
gonna be
like
here all night.
Stephen King's horror or Stephen King's true crime or whatever, right? No, but I would.
You have to be
I
at
would
work
kinda
in
go with
7
one of the
hours.
short story books. I know, right? Yeah, the countdown is on here. I'm getting up in 6 hours to go to work, but I would actually recommend one of the short story books, and I'm not 100% sure which one off the top of my head because there's so many of them. But like that, Just After Sunset is actually pretty good, but it's a newer one, so
Yeah.
Like Night Shift is awesome. Like for if you want to go way back to like, I remember really enjoying the short stories in that one.
I think a short story recommendation is
Yeah,
actually
that way you get like a little dose. Of
yeah,
Yeah.
because you get an understanding of because he
multiple
does
doses.
he recycles concepts or he'll reinforce concepts in more advanced ways as he gets better, which is really a fascinating thing. I feel like a lot of people would not have the courage to do that in the way he has done that throughout the course of his career, to double down and be like, you know what, I'm going to reintroduce this character and do it right this time. And to see someone have the confidence and courage to do that it's actually fascinating because it's unique and it's not a common thing to find at all. It's also not common to find, like maybe Nicholas Sparks is someone that's written as, or no, that who's that, like that other guy? Goddamn.
James Patterson.
Yes,
You know that
that's James Patterson is exactly who I'm thinking of. That
Ah,
writes like
okay.
4 books a
Nice.
year. How do
Right.
you know?
It's like hyper prolific authors.
Horror dads,
yeah.
bro.
Yeah, man. All right, Sarah, where can people find your work? Where can people interact with you? And what do you have coming up that's exciting that you want to share?
You can find me on Instagram. It's Sara Deck Art is my handle. You can find me on Facebook. I've got a website. That's my name.
SaraDeck.com.
I am working on I just did pieces for a Stephen King show that's coming to, I think it's Austin.
Yeah, he's an
In next week.
Outpost.
Wow.
I'll be in Boston in the fall, in September, for Mass Minicon,
All right, John.
So
there you
sh-
go.
along with like Maddie and everybody else.
Yep.
So
Oh, this is that one.
You could-
Yeah.
you guys should come and
coming for a lobster
get
roll.
mad at the-
Yep.
I'll
Yeah.
have. I want some more.
Come for the lobster roll. Stay for the posters.
Stay for the baseball game or whatever it was. you're
Yeah,
mad
that's a
at.
good one, Sarah. Yep.
Come for the
Come
lobster
for the
roll.
lobster roll, stay for the
post.
baseball. Yeah.
Stay for the baseball. Yeah. Other than that, I don't think I'm working on a bunch of stuff that I can't say.
Oh,
Yeah.
those goddamn NDAs.
Yeah.
I know. Well, plus,
It's
like
annoying.
you know,
Thank you both immensely, Sarah.
Oh yeah.
Your talent knows no bounds. Josh, your kindness knows no bounds, and your talent too. You're also exceptionally
My
talented.
talent has bounds.
No,
But no,
Josh.
we appreciate you both. Thank you so much for doing this with us, and we're grateful for the time. So thank you.
Yeah, this has been amazing. Thank you guys.
thank you.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate being on here.
I'll be swimming
With
over
my
soon.
Very talented wife that I'm riding on her coattails.
That's all right.
Just living vicariously through.
That's what we all do. We ride our wives' coattails through life.
Well, thank you both. We'll see you next time.